welcome to the No Spin News for Thursday, October 9th, 2025. Stand up for your country. Unbelievable chaos this week. I know I look calm. Unbelievable chaos. And a smart life tip, if you live your life in chaos, if you allow it, if you nurture it, if you snuggle with it, you're going to get in trouble. My operation is pretty smooth. Okay, we don't embrace chaos and we put it out very quickly because it just gets worse and worse and worse. But this was beyond my control. So let me walk you through it because it's very interesting. So we were supposed to have an interview with President Trump on Tuesday, this coming Tuesday. And those things take a while to set up. And the president watches the No Spin News every night now. He sent me a text at 2 a.m. This morning, complimenting me on my Talking Points memo about the comparison between JFK and Donald Trump and how they both had to use the National Guard to enforce federal law. And it's just grounded in history. There's no partisan stuff about it. And I'm going to do that on our YouTube channel. I'm going to give you a little bit more on it. But I did that yesterday. If you're Premium and Concierge, remember, you got a transcript. You should get one. Because the argument that I made is going to be used in the Supreme Court. And it's all very complimentary to us. Okay? And I was very pleased to get the text at 2 a.m. I wasn't up, but then I got up a little bit later to go to the head. And I just, I shouldn't do that, but I just hit it and there was the text. And I appreciated that from President Trump. But anyway, the interview that was supposed to do on Tuesday in the White House is now out because it looks like the president's going to go to the Middle East on Sunday. That could, maybe won't happen, but because that's in play, then all of his other obligations have been canceled, including the interview with him, which is really too bad. I got a lot of questions. And then I had to make an adjustment on it because it was the lead to the Three Americans show, which is next Wednesday, this coming Wednesday, at the Kennedy Center in D.C. And if you want to see us, Stephen A. Smith, Chris Cuomo, and me, let's go to the News Nation websites and they'll guide you in. Okay? But that's going to be simulcast on CW, on Syria. I mean, it's enormous. So my plan was to interview the president on tape, kick off the Three American show with that, and then boom. But now we have to reconfigure. This is life in the fast lane, and this is the fastest lane there is, what I'm doing, okay? So we're still going to have a great 2-hour Three Americans program at the Kennedy Center. It's going to be very interesting. I'll be on Cuomo and News Nation tonight at 8 to talk about it. The Three American show is also at 8. Okay, so that's this coming Wednesday. Tonight at 8, I'll be on Cuomo and all of that. So if I collapse during this broadcast, you'll understand why. All right, let's get to it. Talking Points Memo, Senate votes down a resolution to stop Trump's attack on drug vessels in the Caribbean. Okay. Why? Why would you do that? Now, the resolution failed, but not by much. Not by much. The vote was 51 for failure. We're not going to do it to 48. Yeah, let's stop them. A number of politicians, I mean, this is pretty standard. Rand Paul, what are you going to do? Senator from Kentucky, he voted for the resolution to stop the attacks. Lisa Murkowski in Alaska, she's not a Republican. You guys up there, I'm not telling you to vote for, but Senator Murkowski is not a Republican. I don't think she's a Democrat either. I don't know what she is, but she's certainly not a Republican. And then Fetterman, the Democrat from Pennsylvania, he voted to allow the president continue to attack the drug crafts. Now, the president has the authority because he declared the drug cartels in Venezuela, which are doing all this, as terrorists, terror groups. You remember after 9/11, Bush the Younger said, look, I got to have the authority to attack these Al-Qaedas and ISIS and everybody else. I can't go to Congress every 2 minutes to get permission to attack these people. So if we designate them terrorists, we can attack them. That's exactly the law. So this is just another demonstration of hate Trump. That's what this is. So you will not be surprised that the two people heading this are Senator Adam Schiff and Senator Tim Kaine of Virginia. They hate Trump. They're doing everything they can to stop everything Trump wants to do. Okay. If you think that's in benefit of the United States, then you're entitled to your opinion, but you're a moron. I'm sorry to be blunt. So if I'm trying to stop more than 100,000 deaths a year in this country, and it's 3 times that with all the health stuff that comes from taking narcotics, but trying to stop that, and I have the authority to use the military against the drug smugglers, I do. Right? I do. Now, the hate Trump people, the Democrats go, oh, we don't have any proof. Well, yeah, you do. Number one, the Dominican Republic found some of the debris from one of these blown up boats. So there's all this cocaine floating around. And number two, why would anybody bother to attack some guy out fishing? You know, come on. So we have very good intel inside Venezuela. And they know when these boats are going out. And that's what's happening. All right, so I'm going to play you Adam Schiff. He's probably Trump's biggest enemy. Roll the tape.
It is hard to describe just how extraordinary and dangerous this action is and the kind of precedent that it sets. Because there are lots of ships carrying narcotics, tragically a lot of them headed for the United States, many headed for Caribbean countries, and our practice has always been to interdict those ships.
And how did that work out there, Senator, the interdiction thing? How did that work out under Biden? Let's get specific. How did it work out, the interdicting the ships? That worked out pretty well? Well, according to Border Patrol, Biden's last year, 23-24, record amount of fentanyl seized, which means a record amount was coming over, 20,000 pounds. Kill 20 million people easy. Okay, so how did that work out, that interdiction? Let's go all the way back, okay, to Vietnam. Never been a shortage of narcotics in America. Never. You want heroin, you want cocaine, methamphetamine. Hey, you go out, you find out where the dealer is, you buy the deal. Never a shortage. Well, that interdiction, that was working pretty well, wasn't it? Now, the fact that the United States is now blowing drug boats out of the water, that is an inhibitor. Okay? So if you're on that boat, you go, oh. That's why Maduro, the leader of Venezuela, who's up to here in the narcotics, okay, he's getting paid tens of millions of dollars, in my opinion. I can't prove it, but it's a narco state, Venezuela. That's why he doesn't want this. This is his money. So Schiff is, look, I got no respect for the man. I'm sorry. And there are Republican senators I don't respect either. Murkowski. Okay, so it's not a partisan play. But he's like, if Trump wants it, I don't want it. And that's a memo. Okay. So there's a poll, Reuters. It's a news service that doesn't like Trump. And a poll is about the National Guard being sent to cities. But the questions are too simple. Now, what does that mean? It means that you're asking people for an opinion of something they don't know about. So that'd be like me doing a poll and calling you up and say, the War of 1812, should we have done that? Should we have been engaged in that war? And you go like that, all right? Now, a few of you do know about the War of 1812, but not many. So this is 1,154 U.S. adults. First question. President should only deploy troops to areas with external threats. That means outside of the United States. Yes, 58. No, 25. Don't know, 18. All right, so the external threat, if there's an internal threat, then 58% of the people say, no military, no National Guard. Well, that puts you in the direct opposite of John F. Kennedy, Dwight Eisenhower, U.S. Grant, and a whole bunch of other presidents who had to use the U.S. federal military to solve very serious problems. So you're on the other side of that. Now, if those 1,154 U.S. adults are sitting right next to me now, they would not know what I'm talking about, I guarantee you. They don't know what Kennedy did and what Eisenhower did. Now, we did it earlier this week, and if you're a Premium and Concierge member, I said you can get a transcript. It was about civil rights. States, some of them in the South, just wouldn't obey the civil rights law. Wouldn't let the black kids in school, public school. Kennedy said 17,000 people. 17,000 U.S. military paratroopers down in Alabama. Do you think most people know that? They remember that in 1963? They don't. Second question on the Reuters poll. The president should be able to send troops to a state even if its governor objects. Yes, 37%, no, 48%. That second question doesn't make any sense in conjunction with the first question. Okay, so it doesn't matter what the governor wants, although this is an interesting aside. Trump asked Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, to call up the guard to protect the people in the South Side who were being gunned down by the drug gangs. Pritzker wouldn't do it. Wouldn't do it. 4,000 dead. I'm not calling them up. Why not? You got 4,000 dead, 80% African Americans. Why aren't you calling them up? But Trump wanted the locals to take action. They wouldn't do it. And they won't protect, as we proved, the ICE agents in Chicago. So therefore, you got the guard there. About 500 to 700 of them. And they'll be patrolling over the weekend, I'm pretty sure. So I'm going to do a big takeout on the YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, because that's all over the world. And I want people in other countries to understand exactly what's going on. So I'm going to have sound bites from Eisenhower and JFK and explain the whole thing. So sign up for that. It's free. Subscribe. It's youtube.com/Bill O'Reilly. We'll give you the address a little later on. Here are the lawsuits about the National Guard. State of Illinois, Chicago, State of Oregon, Portland, Oregon, State of California, District of Columbia. Okay, so there's 6 lawsuits. Supreme Court will knock them out. I'm very confident that will happen. The American dream is changing. Forget the white picket fence. Today it's about getting out of debt. If rising prices and credit card bills are weighing you down, there is hope. Done with debt. They don't offer loans or push bankruptcy. Their expert negotiators go straight to your creditors, cutting what you owe, wiping out interest, eliminating penalties. They fight until your debt is gone. Most clients see more money in their pocket the first month. You've worked too hard to let debt win. With Done With Debt, freedom is possible. Please visit donewithdebt.com. Talk with one of their experts, completely free. But some of their solutions are time sensitive, so don't wait. Please go to donewithdebt.com. Again, donewithdebt.com. All right, latest from the Middle East. So it looks like there is a deal, at least a verbal deal. The Knesset in Israel voting on the deal. They'll vote to take it because this hostages will be released. Anything could happen here. So I'm just reporting where we know right now. All right, and that's why the president will go to the Middle East if this deal is signed. Now, Netanyahu put an AI-generated image of Trump getting the Nobel Peace Prize, which Trump wants. The Norwegians, I'm not going to say anything now because I'm working on this myself, but not like they're fair over there. Steve Witkoff, which is Trump's main negotiator, and his son-in-law, Jared Kushner, who's got all kinds of business with the Gulf states, they're involved with this negotiation, as well as the president and Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State. Do I think it'll happen? I do. I think it'll happen. Could be wrong. So tomorrow, the president goes to Walter Reed Medical Center, very fine facility in Maryland. I was there doing a charity thing for the wounded of Iraq and Afghanistan, and I was impressed. So he gets a medical checkup, and then I wonder what happened to Biden's doctor. The guy didn't tell anybody that Biden had prostate cancer in last February, and then he has prostate cancer. Where's that? How come we don't know what that's all about? But anyway, so Trump's getting an exam tomorrow. Another poll. Power. A lot of people love power. If I had the choice between money and power, I'm taking the money. Because I can give it away. You can't give power away. Sometimes I can right wrongs, as we do in our concierge membership for BillO'Reilly.com. If you're getting hosed, I can come in and do some serious damage to the people who are hurting you. And so that's power. And we use it that way. But just power, people go, Okay, here it is. Pew is a good research center. 3,455 U.S. adults. Compared to other recent presidents, do you think Donald Trump is trying to exercise more presidential power? 69%. Less, 2%. About the same, 21%. The answer there, if we're doing Jeopardy, is more. All right? President Trump believes in executive power, the executive branch. No question about it. No question. And he joins Alexander Hamilton, Andrew Jackson, Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, Franklin Roosevelt. All of those presidents said the supremacy should lie in the executive branch. Trump is the pursuit of power is the highest level in modern times. Now, maybe you don't like that. Obviously, Democrats don't. Second question, as you may know, Donald Trump has used a number of executive orders to set policy. Do you think Trump is doing too much by executive order? 51. Too little, 6. About right, 27. I haven't seen any executive orders from the president that I objected to. But I didn't really study all of them. There are a lot of them we don't even have time to report. He is a lot of them, no doubt about it. Next question, improve the way the government works. Has Trump done that? Definitely improved it, 19. Probably improved it, 20%, 39 altogether. Not improved the government, 18. Definitely not, 41. That's not a good number for the president there. The government, they don't think is working as it should. Final question, improperly encourage federal investigations of political opponents. Okay, interesting question. Definitely done that, 38. Probably 24. Haven't done it, 21. Definitely haven't done it, 15. So he's underwater, 62 to 36. Donald Trump has used his power to roil, that's a good word, right? R-O-I-L, his political opponents, but some of them broke the law. I do the same thing. I always measure what I would do. Comey, I go after him. I think Comey corrupted that Justice Department, that FBI agency. to a degree that I haven't seen since Nixon. Garland was bad under Biden. He was terrible. Where is he? He disappeared. He may be up in Greenland somewhere. Garland was bad, but he didn't do anything. But Comey ran wild. I don't think he should get away with it. Now, I don't think he's going to get convicted of the perjury stuff. I don't see it. Could be wrong on that. But the fact that he has to go through it and people know what he did or didn't do is worthy exercise. And then I look at all the others that Schiff and Letitia James. Man, I think they all abuse their power and trying to destroy him and his family. Anyway, that's my point of view. FBI issued a report on the summer heat operation that I never even heard of. So the FBI summer heat operation, all 55 FBI offices across the country, happened from June 24th to September 20th, summer. Here are the stats. 8,629 arrests. Bulk of the arrests, gang members, 6,500. 1,053 child victims were involved with these crimes. 45,000 kilograms of cocaine seized just in the summer. Tell Adam Schiff, please. 421 kilograms of fentanyl seized. Almost 2,300 weapons seized. Not a bad summer for the FBI, now that Comey's not there. Okay? You will never hear this reported on the national television news. I don't even think Fox will report it. They just don't do it. Let's face it, the U.S. economy is under stress. National debt rising, trade war shaking the markets. And meanwhile, China is dumping the dollar and stockpiling gold. That's why I protected my savings with physical gold and silver through the only dealer I trust, American Hartford Gold. And you can do this. Get precious metals delivered to your door or placed in a tax-advantaged gold IRA. They'll even help you roll over your existing IRA or 401k, tax and penalty-free. With billions in precious metals delivered, thousands of five-star reviews, and an A+ from the Better Business Bureau, you can trust American Hartford Gold as I do. Please call 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. Again, that's 866-501-5201 or text BILL to 65532. We don't talk enough about those truly making a positive impact. So let's take a moment to discuss Delta Rescue, the world's largest no-kill care for life animal sanctuary. Home to more than 1,500 rescued animals. It is staffed by trained specialists who provide lifelong care, love, and safety. They do incredible work. But look, it's important to remember that Delta Rescue relies solely on contributions from us. I have donated, and so should you. Their founder, Leo Grillo, built a legacy of dedication and everlasting love for animals. So consider making it a part of your legacy too. Talk with an estate planner. Check out the estate planning tab at deltarescue.org. You can make a difference, even get potential tax benefits. So please visit deltarescue.org today to learn more. deltarescue.org. Okay, final thought of the day. I outlined what we're going to do next week in Washington, D.C. So I hope I think News Nation's got a few seats left for the three Americans. So get over there. I'd like to see you. Tonight, Thursday, 9 p.m., Concierge Premium members get to ask me questions about Confronting Evil. Josh Hammer, the new co-author, will be there with me. And we have questions for him because he's the researcher. Lots of questions, and they're good ones. So 9 o'clock tonight, live with all you guys who are Premium and Concierge members. It enhances your life. You know, when I see the sheet every day of people that sign up, and we got a lot of them, a lot of concierge members. But once in a while, we'll have people cancel. And I guess, you know, people die and people go bankrupt and all that. But I go, why would you do that? We give you information that nobody else is ever going to give you. And it gets you ahead of what's happening in this country. And knowledge is power. We talked about power a little while ago. The more you know, the more powerful you are, the more you can protect yourself against the evils of the world. And you have to plan ahead. And if you don't, you're going to get hosed. And if you do get hosed, then I'm here to help you if you're a concierge member. We kind of put that net out, you know. Trust is earned. I think I've earned your trust all over the world. So check it out. And we're looking forward to our soiree tonight, 9 p.m. I'll be right back here. Same jacket, tie, and we'll have a lot of fun. Thanks for watching No Spin News. We'll see you tonight. Thank you for watching. To view full episodes of the No Spin News anytime, sign up to become a BillO'Reilly.com Premium or Concierge member today.